Hey guys, it's Gab. So, this episode is going to focus more on me and what I do and how that's been affected and changed during the whole pandemic or apocalypse or whatever the heck is going on. And I was mainly going to focus on three things. So, the first and foremost is that I'm an 18-year-old girl and a senior in high school, which kind of got screwed over this whole year. The next one is as a runner and an athlete. And the final one is as an only child, and plus the fact that my mom is a single parent, so it's literally just me and my mom in the house. I just think these are three really good topics to start talking about. Some of it might get personal for me, but other parts I think there's stuff that a lot of people can relate to, especially my classmates at being a senior in high school. So yeah, let's just get started. I'm actually going to start with being an only child because that's probably going to be the shortest. So, all my life, it's always been me, so I could always entertain myself, and I'm kind of used to it. But I did rely on my friends for social things. So, the fact that, I can't see them at all is kind of rough because it's not like I have a sibling who's really good friends with me. But my mom and I are ridiculously close. So, lockdown, isn't bad, obviously. And it probably made us closer, which I really didn't think was possible. But, even then, we took each other off and argued, and we obviously have no one else to talk to besides each other. So, sometimes I would literally text her from the other room because I would say hi because I was just bored. So it's just really hard not to see friends or people at all because that would be, my social interaction. And I relied so much on school, track, and just being out for general life, for social, anything social. But I think me and my mom have spent a lot of quality time together over the past few weeks. Not that we didn't before. It's just, I don't know, it's nice, especially since hopefully I'll be going away to college next year. I definitely know I'll miss the time that I have with her now, so I'm going to make the most of it before I go away. I actually came back to add something about that. I forgot to talk about how since I only live with my mom, I would see my dad occasionally, and since he lives closer to my beach house, I'd usually just see him when I went down there. But when there was a restriction on travel, it wasn't a restriction, but you weren't really supposed to travel, if you really didn't have to. And full disclosure, me and my mom still go to our beach house all the time. Not that we follow, any rules. But it was kind of what the heck? Are the kids supposed to not see the other parent if they don't live close enough to, not get on the parkway? It was just a weird situation. Alright, so now I'm going to talk about being an athlete. I'm definitely more reliant on running now than I was in the beginning of quarantine because it just makes me happy. But there's so many people flooding the streets now with running. Honestly, it kind of makes me feel not as special anymore almost. I don't know. I thought it was cool when people would watch me run on the streets, but now everyone's just running. At one point, the boardwalks were closed also at the beach. So when I would try and run there, the main street was crowded with people, but they were still allowed in cars. So the amount of times I had to get on and off the sidewalk, and even around here with people walking on the sidewalk and running on the sidewalk, the amount of times you have to get on and off to try and avoid people is ridiculous, and it's not safe because I almost rolled my ankles so many times. And also it slows you down, so it kind of hinders your training. And then you just kind of get annoyed, and then you want to be done, which is really not productive. But it also sucks because my half marathons were canceled, so I had no long races to train for. Since the schools were shut down completely for the rest of the year, I have no school season to prepare for. So it's kind of what are you doing it for? But now it's just kind of for mental health, I guess. I think just exercising helps take your mind off of things and just, of course for your health. It's just, for me, I need to do it or else I'm just not me. Even the people who aren't really running are kind of pissing me off because, I know everyone's trying to get outside and stuff, but at one point, I was on the track trying to do a workout, and when I got there, there was people with baby strollers on the track. And then kids who were old enough to ride their bikes were riding their bikes on the track. That is not what a track is for. But anyways, so I actually didn't get to finish recording this the other day. So it's a completely different day, and I just got back from a run. So it was really nice out. And I'm thankful that everything's opening up for me to run on. But my trainer, who I started with after I quit gymnastics, he's become like a brother to me. And it's not like I'm going to Retro Fitness or I'm going to LA Fitness. It's just like a small weight room. It's right near school. And it's only 8 at most of us at a time. So ever since the virus happened, he had to close. And I really, really miss the heavy weights and stuff because I only have very, very limited weights at home. So I feel like I can't progress as much with that. And it really sucks for him because I know, like, you're supposed to, like, social distancing, whatever, but he could take 1 or 2 people at a time and still, like, be safe and, like, have us far enough apart. And it's not like we weren't cleaning the gym every 5 minutes. So, and again, it's easier to work out with people with the motivation and stuff, and most of my friends are there, so I'm also missing them a lot. And it's just fun, like, it's just more fun. I don't know. We do have Zoom meetings every few days, though, to work out together. It's just not the same, though. And plus, with a coach there, like home workouts, as much as you say you could do it, sometimes you sit on your phone, you stop, get distracted. I don't know, like if I have someone not yelling at me, but telling me what to do, it's a lot easier. Plus, that was just like another place to like get out because he didn't have to close really until like essential businesses had to close. So I was still going when we weren't in school. I think it was like a week and a half after we were out of school that he closed. So like when I wasn't going to school, it was like, oh, at least I could still go and get out and go to Charlie's. But now I really can't even, like, obviously can't even do that. So now I'm going to talk about being, like, a senior and an 18-year-old, like, teenage girl in quarantine. And some of these points I can go on for a while about, and I'm probably going to do a whole separate thing about them. But I'm going to start with schoolwork, probably. So, listen, I'm a senior, and it was already March when I was pulled out of school. I didn't want to do work then. I definitely don't want to do schoolwork now at home. Like, I don't need busy work. Like, I understand, like, you need to give the freshmen some grades. But some of them, like gym, I didn't need to do work for every single day. I was not motivated to do it. I have my English AP exam in approximately an hour, and I have not studied a single bit for it. The last time I studied for my AP chemistry exam was probably the week after we got told we can't come back to school. And my AP stat exam, I don't even get credits for in college, so I'm not even bothering with that. The schoolwork I have, like, it's just, I'm not going to lie, Mr. Roach, this podcast is fun. But other stuff, there's no reason for me to do it, so I don't do it. I mean, I do, but, like, I don't give it half the effort I probably should. But, I mean, that probably would have happened in school, but I definitely would have rather, like, suffer through it with my friends than suffering through it with my computer. Next, I'll talk about, like, prom and graduation. So, when prom was canceled, I was, like, definitely upset. I kind of knew, like, it was coming, but there's a long story about my prom dress, or dresses, I have 2. But, like, I spent a lot of money on my prom dress, and I want to be able to wear it. Like, I don't know, I just think I like to get dressed up. I'm an 18-year-old girl. I want to wear my pretty pink dress. But graduation, I was looking forward to, like, had higher hopes for. So when it first got announced that I was going to be drive-through, it was really hard because we were limited to 1 car. And I don't know, I didn't really want to stuff my divorced parents, myself, and like sit in a car and get my diploma. I just thought that situation was a little awkward, but I wanted both of them to see it, so I don't know, it was kind of strange. I didn't really want to think about how I was going to approach it. But then when it was announced, excuse me, sorry, my throat gets dry after I run. But once it was announced that it was virtual, I know you're supposed to social distance and stuff, but like we're already planning a party or like a watch party to come watch it at my house with like my family and my friends. I was still hoping at some point that there may be some sort of ceremony or something because I wanted to sit with my friends and graduate. I wanted to like throw my cap in the air and take those last pictures with my friends and like in the school with my cords on. It would just be a different experience. I feel like virtual is almost just like not like closure. Like I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. And don't get me wrong, I was never one of those people who was like, oh, high school's the best 4 years of your life. No, not like that. But I'm still like want to see like the friends I had because we did it all together, and it was 4 years we spent together. So I just think it's not fair that we aren't allowed to have something. Like I'm sure we could space people out far enough on the football field or something, and put people in the bleachers in the parking lot. And I just think there's a different way to do it, but we'll see. I guess there's still a little time. So I'm going to do this in a completely different episode, but I also wanted to touch on that like this whole quarantine thing has brought to light like body issues like with myself, and like because there's so many mirrors and stuff at home and you're not doing anything else and that's all you think about. But yeah, if you want to hear about that, I'm going to do an in-depth episode about me and like my journey with that. It sounds sappy, but like I actually have one to tell. So now I want to wrap it up kind of. It's probably going to be really long, so it's not going to be really wrapping up. But I want to talk about how this was like a learning period. So as an athlete, running is more of like an enjoyment and like an escape now than it really ever was. It was more just like, okay, you run. I like it, yeah, but like you just have to run. Like now I love it. Like getting outside, just like taking my time for myself. Home workouts can be really hard. There's easier days, but some home workouts can be really, really hard. I definitely learned that. I still really miss my heavy weights and everything, but home workouts can hurt. It's also been a time to like learn a lot of new things. So for me, as a lot of you have seen on my Snapchat stories, I started coloring some books. I really like to color because it kind of relaxes me. I've read a book for enjoyment for the first time probably since maybe like 8th grade. The series is called After. There's actually a movie about it, so I recommend it. Starting podcasts. Funny joke. I'm still not good at them, but we'll keep trying. I've been experimenting more with my gluten-free baking and delivering it to others so they can also enjoy it, which makes me feel pretty good. My mom bought a ping pong table, so we got pretty good at ping pong. Once this is all over, you guys can come play ping pong with me. Now I'm going to be a little more sentimental. You definitely learn to appreciate what you can do other than what you can't, and like the people you have around you and your health. I have to yawn so much when I run. Holy crap. So yeah, like you realize how lucky you are and focus on the good things rather than the bad, I guess. Excuse me. It was also a great time to like figure out how to love yourself as who you are and like who you want to be and what that means, because you have all this time to yourself. Like you could do whatever you want with it, and if you're happy with that, great, and if you're not, you should probably figure out why, because when this is all over, we're all going to have to go back to being normal people, and if you don't like who you are then what's the point of even like why keep going? That got really deep really fast, but like an example of that was like for me, I was so rigid in my schedule, and I still am. Like I'm still good at keeping time management, but I'm definitely learning to like let loose a little bit. Listen, tomorrow my chem exam begins at 2 o'clock. It's 45 minutes long. At 2:46, my little butt is getting in my Jeep and we're going to the beach for the weekend. Maybe longer. But like stuff like that. It's just like stuff like you need to learn about yourself, and if you don't like it, you have the time to fix it now. So you're not going to get this time back. So you might as well make the most of it, whether that be fixing your room, fixing your garage, or like taking time to fix yourself if that's what you need. I think all that gibberish I was just trying to say it's a really good time to reflect on yourself. I hope that made a little bit of sense. Okay, so I'll wrap it up for real this time. This is a little longer than I thought it was going to be, but I think it's fine because I was talking about stuff that actually is important. So that was just me talking about being an athlete and a senior and an only child in this whole mess we're in. And I can't say anything bad about any of it. It's just how it is. So, yeah. Stay tuned for an episode about my body issues adventure, if that's what it's called, and other episodes in the making. Thanks for listening. Smell you later.